My room's a mess. My hair's a mess. I'm filming a Q&A today. It's just the way it is. But hi guys, and welcome to another Q&A. I've made quite a few Q&As on this channel before, but a lot of my Q&As I've either deleted or pirated over the years. The only one I have currently on my channel that is public is one I made last summer. It's time to do another one. We're just gonna jump right into it. The first question is, what are your thoughts on season 5 of My Hero Academia? So when I started watching My Hero Academia, I watched dubbed. There are some subs that I think are much better, and there are some dubs that I think are much better than the subbed. My Hero Academia is one of them. I much prefer the dubbed. I saw and watched seasons 1 and 2 and the majority of season 3 dubbed. I believe I watched the majority of season 4 subbed. I didn't really care because I was really already invested in season 4 because I started off with a dubbed. However, season 5 so far, not starting out with the dubbed kind of like took me out of it a little bit, and I went back and rewatched the episodes, the first couple episodes that were dubbed for season 5, and I enjoyed it much more. It's not my favorite. I just think because every other season kind of started off with a bang. Like you have season 2 started off with like the tournament arc, which is like one of my favorite arcs. Season 3 started off with the training camp. Season 4 started off with overhaul. You really had like big things kind of like to start off the seasons, and season 5 so far has been really good. I've loved watching Class 1B versus Class 1A like team up and work together and fight each other and be more grounded. I like that aspect. I'm just not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed season 4 or season 3 or season 2. There's things that I do love about it, like Todoroki versus Tetsu was great. You have Deku losing control, but like learning more about his quirk. All Might's quirk is amazing. You have Shinzo back. Those are great things that have happened so far in the season. I know shit's about to go down. I know stuff's gonna happen. Like, so far it's not my favorite season, but I am having a fun time with it. Next question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for the MCU going forward? A 10, no, like a fucking 100, a million. Spoiler for, if you haven't seen Loki, this is a spoiler. After what happened in the last episode, the timeline branching off, and now there's multiple timelines. There are so many possibilities for the MCU. Like, we already know what's gonna happen in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. We hear rumors about like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire gonna be in the next Spider-Man. There are so many possibilities. I am so excited. Like, I was generally thinking, how are they gonna top the Infinity Saga? I think they might. Like, honestly, Doctor Strange 2, which I am like super fucking excited about, Spider-Man 3, which could have 3 different Spider-Mans, then you have Ant-Man 3. I don't know. I didn't think Marvel could top the Infinity Saga, but at this point, I'm thinking like maybe they could. They kicked off phase 4, they hit a home run, and they just went swinging. What movies or shows are you looking forward to the rest of 2021 and 2022? Well, movies and shows I'm looking forward to the rest of 2021. Spider-Man 3, like, where's our trailer, Marvel? Show-wise, like the rest of season 5 of My Hero Academia. Oh, Miss Marvel, I think, comes out in the fall, maybe. Miss Marvel's coming out. I'm pretty excited for that. So yeah, definitely Spider-Man 3 is like my top movie of the rest of the year that I'm just like, ah! And 2022, a little movie called Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Like, I don't know if you know. Maybe we'll get a season 2 of Shadow and Bone next year, or maybe not. I don't know. Oh, season 3 of Love, Victor. I don't know if they've announced season 3 yet, but like season 3 of Love, Victor, that's what I'm pumped for. I don't know everything that's coming out next year because like they had to switch so many things and so many things have been pushed back. Like Doctor Strange 2 is like my top for next year. Like that's what I'm just like, give it to me now, I want more Wanda. Are you planning on doing a review or reaction to Transformers Kingdom? Reaction? I don't think so. A review? Yeah, I will be doing a review for Kingdom. I did a review for like Earthrise. I did a reaction and a review for Siege. I have to like keep up the trilogy, but yeah, I definitely want to do a review for Kingdom because like I'm pretty curious about how that's gonna go. Interested in what Kingdom has to bring. The trailer got me kind of like, and I kind of like the trailer. But yeah, I will be doing a review for Kingdom. Reaction, don't know. Maybe, who knows? If I do, it'll just be in one big video. Next question. What was your introduction to Marvel? I don't actually remember my first introduction to Marvel. I think it was, I can't even remember the top of my head. Like the first like superhero stuff I ever saw was, I grew up watching the Teen Titans TV show. I've actually seen a lot more DC cartoons than Marvel cartoons. Surprising, even though I'm like a big Marvel nerd. I think my first kind of like introduction to Marvel was, I think, like Iron Man 2 was on TV. I know my parents went to go see the first 2 Iron Mans in theaters, and I think my mom from Iron Man 2, I think they had Burger King toys. I remember she bought, I think it was Iron Man 1, I think it was Iron Man 1 or Iron Man 2. She bought like a Burger King Iron Man figure, and I remember that was kind of like my first real introduction to Marvel because I saw that toy and I'd play with it because I played with a lot of action figures as a kid. I think I saw a little bit of the first Iron Man movie and I was like, this looks cool. I didn't really follow up with it, and then I heard about this film Avengers coming out and I was like, that Iron Man guy, he looks familiar. Then I think I started watching all of the Marvel movies before I saw Avengers, and the first time I saw Avengers in theaters, distinctly remember after I saw all of the previous Marvel films, I really enjoyed it, but I went and I bought a t-shirt that was a light sky blue that had Captain America's shield on it with an A in the middle. It was like the end of the school year. We had to pick movies that we wanted to see, and I remember I wanted to go see the Avengers. I remember I went to go see the first Avengers film, I think the day of or the day after it came out, with my school. So the first Marvel film I ever saw in theaters was the first Avengers, and so that's why the Avengers kind of like have a special place in my heart. I technically consider that to be my first interaction to Marvel, since that I'm now freaking obsessed with it and I love everything about it. Just kidding, I have issues with it too, but I love Marvel so freaking much. Who is your favorite Transformers character and why? I mean, I don't know if that poster over there doesn't give it away, and like you can't see. I have a bust on my wall way over there of him, which you can see with Christmas lights on it, and then there's a head of him over there. I'd say Optimus is my favorite. Optimus is my favorite Transformers character. I think it's just because not only do I like his color scheme and his robot design, like the mask and the antennas and like the windshield, but also I just think there's something about him. And I know a lot of people don't like Optimus, and that's perfectly fine. I just think there's something about him, the way he holds himself and like stands, and just the way he speaks is like he's spewing so many like wise words and inspirational quotes. He thinks about things before like doing any actions. Like he thinks about things really thoroughly before doing anything. He doesn't let his impulses get the better of him. Like he could kill Megatron. He would love to probably kill Megatron and end all of this, but at the same time it's not in his nature to kill. I mean, the movies say otherwise, but it's not in his nature to kill people. That's his last resort, and sometimes he realizes that I should just kill you because that would end everything. And I just like the way he holds himself and the way he sees the good in everyone. Like Megatron may be his enemy, but him and Megatron were once really good friends. Like they were like brothers at one point. He can still see the good in Megatron, even if like there's times where it's like, okay, Optimus, like you just gotta get it over with, just kill Megatron. Like just get it over with. Even the Decepticons, like he's pushing them to join his side because no matter how many bad things they've done, they can still redeem themselves. There's just something about him. Makes me want to be a better person, makes me want to do better in my life and be better. Like even now, I still have his voice constantly in the back of my head as Peter Cullen, telling me you can do this, you've got this. He's kind of like, he's like my cheerleader in my head, if you will. If that sounds crazy, I'm sorry. He gives me a good pep talk and he's like a cheerleader in my head telling me you can do this. There's a lot of other reasons too. Like I made a whole video on my channel of reasons why we love Optimus Prime, which I don't know if it's private anymore, but I'd like to kind of like redo that video and add to it. The last question I have is, what are you currently reading and what's your favorite book you've read so far this year? I've read so many books this year, but I've read so many great ones. Like the book I just finished, The Sky Blues, was so good. The last 50 pages, I was crying my eyes out. It was just so good. I've been really expanding my diversity, and I've been reading a lot more LGBTQ books this year, whether it be the structure of the book is LGBTQ or it's written by an author of LGBTQ. And I've been expanding also and reading more books with characters of color as the main character. Well, also I've been really reading a lot more books this year by authors of color because I really want to expand the diversity in the books that I read. And I've been doing a lot of Googling, a lot of like research, following a lot of accounts that talk about books from smaller authors. So I've just been doing a lot more research, trying to diversify what I've been reading. However, one of my favorite authors, she's gonna be one of my favorite authors probably for the rest of my life, and she had another book come out this year that I've been waiting for a very long time, and it just like, it wrecked me, but also it made me feel things, and it's another Sarah J Maas book. I said that last year. I think my favorite book of last year was a Sarah J Maas book. I just can't help it. I love her books. And this one, this big honkin' baby was no exception. This is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. This is book 4, technically book 4, but I also count it as like book 1 because like it's taking place after the events of the 3rd book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, A Court of Wings and Ruin. But this is more adult. Like this is adult. The other books were like adult, but like this one's really adult. Like you should be a full-on fledged adult before you read this, not just because the messages and like the trauma that happens in here and stuff, the smutty stuff in here is very adult. Even I at times was like, whoa, that's extreme. That's a little bit far over my limit. Whatever. But granted, I love the characters. I love Feyre, Rhysand, Nesta, Cassian. I love these characters so much. And it like made me cry, it made me mad. There were parts where I wanted to throw the book across the room because I was so frustrated. Can't wait for the next one in this series. I'm currently reading, I actually just finished, this was the book that I just finished reading, The Sky's Blue. I really enjoyed this book. This was my first book by this author. I think it was his debut novel. So for his debut novel, I really liked it. It was really good. I really loved it. Very cute. I highly recommend this. I haven't started a new book yet, but I am going to start The Serpent Shadow. This is the third and final book in the Red Pyramid series, which is the Kane Chronicles, Egyptian mythology, which actually this one came out like years and years ago, but I'm rereading it because I've been on a wanting to reread Rick Riordan books kick, so I'm gonna start rereading this very soon. But yeah, those are all the questions that I got for this Q&A. Thank you guys for these questions. I get the same questions usually all the time, so it was nice to get some different questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys with another video very soon. Bye guys!